Welcome back to the Exotic SMP podcast, the only podcast that is still active after 3 months from the first episode. My name is Doc Brick. And
I'm RK.
I was about to say, and these are my silent companions.
I thought you were gonna say like, and these are my co-hosts, and then name us. But I guess you didn't do that. Yo, what up? It's your boy RK Dizzle in the house.
I was just sitting there like, is Ryan gonna say anything?
Because I don't want to cut him off. So if he takes a pause, I'm like, is he gonna say it? Is he gonna say it?
Exactly.
All right, I'm also here joined by the most popular member on the server, both on YouTube and also amongst members. I'm here with Chesh.
Hi, don't know what that means at all, but you said sure.
Chester Chat Gaming. Let's give a round of applause. Woo!
So, here we are, back again. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It really has. The last episode was in July. This one we're recording in November. So yeah, I'd say it's been a little bit.
So I'm going to respond because we had a lot of good feedback on the first podcast episode, and we thank you all so much for commenting and liking all that good stuff, supporting the podcast. I am going to reply to Block Idea. 2 months ago, this user writes, at 11 seconds, and this is when this is in response to us saying, it's like, oh, this is probably going to be like the only episode of the podcast. This user writes, it's going to be the only episode. And 3 months later, we can finally...
Boom! In your face!
We can finally debunk that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so...
Myth busted.
So here's what happened, all right? So I want to say it's August. We see the great feedback from you guys, and we're like, okay, we gotta...
No. It was a week later.
Was it a week later?
It was literally a week later.
Okay, so it was a week. I felt like it was August, but I guess not. It was a week later. We saw the feedback. We were like, because it got to 100 views pretty quickly, and we were like, oh, that's better than most of our videos. So we're like, okay, let's go record another one. And
Round 2.
So we did it with Ryan, Chesh, and me, and that's around when school started for me. So I was hit with exams, and we had a wonderful time, Ryan. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but we had a wonderful time with you because you were having quite the spooky experience.
Oh yeah. So every time I was really home alone at the time, and where I was staying was like in a really sketchy neighborhood. And to top things off, our house was like under renovation, so we didn't have any like floors or like curtains on the windows or anything. So it was really it was just a spooky house in general. And then every once in a while, I think like the cat would knock something over in the kitchen, and I'd like freak out and get up and have to go check on what the heck happened. And so me and my dog would go freak out at it. And so yeah, we kept having to stop because kept hearing stuff. And it was pretty spooky.
I like that you weren't just alone, you were really alone.
I had my trusty Finn next to me, so Finn's my dog.
So we're recording this podcast, right? And all of a sudden, Finn just takes off, starts barking, and that was the one time when the cat moved something. But Ryan got up and was gone for a good maybe 2 minutes. I think he was actually outside patrolling the house looking.
I didn't go outside. No. I think I might have stopped to do something. Like,
He's just getting ice cream.
I don't remember. It was too far. Yeah, right. It was very long ago. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I don't think I went outside.
Yeah. And then it happened 2 more times. The second time was I don't know what it was. I don't even think you figured out like what the sound was, but you left a second time, and then the third time I think it was your father, wasn't it?
Yeah, he came home, and so I went and said hi to him because the dog was like happy and wanted to leave the room and stuff. So
yeah,
let him out.
So anyway, we had a fun time with the so-called second episode. So yeah, and then we just got busy with life, and then we sat down and we were like, you know what? Didn't we like start a podcast like so long ago? Maybe we should actually record a proper second episode. So here we are. Yay.
Yeah, better late than never.
So we have some new regulations on on the server and stuff. And because we were noticing a lot of us were like getting bored with Minecraft, and we were starting to like, like drift and become inactive and stuff. So Ryan came up with a lovely idea that we should have like at least one episode from each member a month in order to keep their status as exotic SMP members and stuff. And that pushed out quite a few interesting videos. So, I mean,
yeah, and it's not even an episode requirement. It's an exotic related video is what we require.
gotcha.
Yeah, because I mean, we have some members that like we're friends with and we'd like to keep as members, but they don't really do survival episodes. I was mainly thinking of Fade at the time when I was thinking of this. Fade and Alex, they don't really do survival episodes. Fade actually surprised me, and he actually did start to make like episodes on the SMP. But people like Alex, who doesn't really make SMP videos, I was prepared. Like I wanted to count his WWE exotic videos,
Which if you
because
haven't
those are still
seen
fun to
yet,
watch.
if you haven't seen yet, you really should go watch them. It's kind of like our football. Well, like how like you like. Well, okay. First off, I'm not a football fan, so this might not be the best, a description of it. But like when you like say like you go to a school, right, and your team is going up against this other rival school, and you have that supporting, kind of.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm losing the words in my head. Competitive nature, right? But with the WWE videos, you can kind of root for like your friend or fellow member and stuff, and see how well they do, or if they get totally shreked, or like say if you have like a very quiet member like Chesh right now, and then she just absolutely wrecks in WWE. It's just a lot of fun moments right there. So
It's really fun to watch your friends beat each other up. Let's just say that. Anyways, point is that we have this upload requirement now, and it really got members active. And then the people that were inactive and didn't want to be there said, "All right, I don't want to get kicked, so I'm gonna say my goodbyes and just leave." We did kick some members, but people like OG members, like for example Hornet, he stopped making YouTube videos, so we just moved him down to a guest rank in our Discord so he can still hang out with us.
Yeah, and some of the other ones that we like bumped down to guest level, there's still people who have the ability to make exotic videos and would like to make exotic videos, but they actually came out and addressed to us saying, "Hey, we have college, we have school, we have sports that are getting in the way of doing YouTube right now. We're probably not going to be uploading another video for a while." And we're like, "Okay, that's fine." So, but they do plan to come back eventually, but at this current moment, there's not a certain definite time when they're going to be coming back. So that's the other reason why we just put them back down to guests and stuff as well.
So our oldest guest member is Matt Zillinelli. I don't know if people remember him, but he was on season 1 of Exotic. He was like one of the first people that I accepted after I became owner, and his parents took away his computer, and never gave it back. So this has been like 2-3 years ago. And actually, I was just talking to him on Snapchat for the first time in forever a couple days ago. He's doing well. He's in school. He's like playing sports and stuff. And he misses everybody, and he misses making videos, but he doesn't think he's going to come back. So that's why we have the guest rank, so that they can still hang out with us and stay connected.
So anyways, out of the videos that we got, excluding your own, all right? I mean, even though you probably love it to death because you put so many hard hours into your guys' videos, but which member's video did you enjoy the month of October?
Hold on, I gotta go look. What the heck was even uploaded in October?
Quick, scroll back.
Can we talk about Dead's episode real quick?
Dead's? Okay.
Oh, this is a story right here, ladies and gentlemen. Grab some popcorn, grab like a mug of tea or something, coffee, whatever. Sit back, relax, enjoy. And on to you, Ryan.
Okay, you didn't. I thought you were gonna.
No,
Okay,
I wasn't. No.
So Dead. Oh, what a guy. The whole month he's like, he always does this. Okay, let's start off by saying he hadn't uploaded 7 months. He took like a 7-month break in between the video he uploaded and his last video, which was on season 2 of Exotic. Which, by the way, he only ever uploaded 1 episode of season 2, but it's understandable. He was busy with school, and then summer school, and then regular school again, so he really never had any time to make videos. But he's always constantly like, hey Ryan, I need a clip. Hey Doc, I need a clip. Hey Chesh, I need a clip.
Chesh,
and he's always recording all these clips, but we never see them.
Yeah.
So finally, it's like October 30th or whatever, and we're like, Dead, you really need to be uploading a video. Like, you're gonna get kicked if not. So Dead had all this footage, and we're expecting him to use it all in like some really epic episode. But no, he doesn't do that at all. Like, literally, maybe like 10% of the clips that we recorded made it into his 6-minute video. Okay, so we recorded this. We recorded the Spawn Tour clip. He wanted to do a Spawn Tour for his episode. We recorded this clip twice. The first time I recorded it with him, it was fine. And then later he's like, okay, the footage got corrupted. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We'll just record it again later. Later we record it, everything's fine. Now, I don't know why. I haven't talked to him about this. But when the video comes out, there he is. Okay, Chesh, explain what happened. So, because you ended up doing the Spawn Tour.
So, pretty much, I'm on all the time since I have no life. And I'm just sitting there in a call. Dead jumps in a call and goes, Chesh, quick, I got like 6 hours until the deadline. I need a clip. And I'm just sitting there like, buddy, I was mining. What? And he's like, okay, I need this clip real quick. Okay, all you gotta do is stand right here, and then when I run past, you walk out and ask what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, whatever. Short clip, I can do this. He's like running down there. He's like, okay, come out. Okay, hey, Dad, what you doing? He's like, okay, now tour me around the entirety of Spawn. It's like, what? We're halfway through, and then he's like, okay, this is taking way too long. Top 5 buildings.
And this is kind of like how Dead does all of his clips. He doesn't tell you the full story. So when he says, hey, I need a clip, you're like, okay, is this a short thing or a long thing? Because I kind of have to go to work soon.
I think I'm just like the backup for if anybody needs a clip last minute. Just like, quick, nobody else is online. You've got no life help.
It's because you're probably on the most,
Yeah.
and so you're readily available to make clips.
The most popular.
Yes, that's what it is. There's one time Doc gets on, right? And he was like, all right, Doc, record this.
I was like, wait a minute, what? Am I recording this for you? Because it was like from my perspective, and I still don't know where that went. Like that clip, I think it's just been added to the collection because I don't think a lot of people understand. Dead actually records quite a few bits and pieces.
He records a lot.
He really does, but I don't know where they go. It's like he has this magical vault or this magical like hard drive. He's like, okay, I need a clip because we record clips, and I think Ryan mentioned this already, but we record clips for Dead like almost on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But we just never see him. And I think the most latest thing I did for Dead is because if you go back to his video, the video he posted of the Spawn Tour, there was a robot at the end, and I actually did some voice lines for that robot. That's why there was an awkward pause, like when he was like just acknowledging the robot, because the robot originally was supposed to talk back, and I was the voice of the robot. So Dead, so it's the final week of October, right? So Dead comes to me, he's like, hey Doc, can you read these lines? And he just sends me a bunch of lines. He just says goofy voice. That's the only annotation he has. And I'm like, okay. So I put it off because again, I have exams, and it's around the end of the month. I have exams for all my classes. So I do the exams, right? And it's the end of the month. So I just sit down, and this is Halloween, by the way. I sit down and I'm just relaxing, ready to enjoy Halloween. And Dead texts me, and at this point he only has 4 hours left before getting kicked. And he's like, Doc, I kind of need those lines now. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I go and I record the lines, and I'm pretty efficient about this. I get it done in a couple minutes, and I send them off to him, and then I go on Exotic and I just kind of chill, and Ryan comes by, and Ryan's he's like, yo, they waited so long up to the very last minute and stuff, and now he's having corruption file problems, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, I wonder if I'm going to make it into the episode. Nope, I'm not in the episode at all. So that's
instead you're replaced by a 4-minute black screen to make his video reach 10 minutes.
Oh, did he really?
Okay, it wasn't intentional. What happened was he left a marker on his editing timeline, and he didn't realize that that it renders up to the marker. So yeah, he rendered it. He rendered it, and then it was like, oh, looks like it's a 10-minute video after all. So I don't know why he's trying to reach 10 minutes. He doesn't get ad revenue or anything. Yeah, but it's not like this is a new thing. This isn't a new phenomenon with Dead. When I first met Dead, we were part of an SMP called Clay SMP. He recorded all this footage that I didn't know about, and then he sees, hey Ryan, you like to edit, right? Here, edit this into a trailer. And I'm like, what? And if you go to his most popular video on his channel, it's Dead Drool the movie, the trailer. He didn't give me any context whatsoever. He didn't tell me what to do. He just said, edit my trailer for me. And he gave me a bunch of footage. And I was like, okay. So 2 years ago, I edited his Dead Drool the movie, the trailer, whatever. And I'd say it was a success, seeing that it is his most popular video. But yeah, I went in that blind. So that's just how it has always been.
And he wasn't the only one that did like tours and stuff. We also had Star, who actually did like a house tour and stuff. We also had Zark, who did a house tour. He did a tour of my house. I was very confused. And it's like because I understand if you want to do a tour of Spawn or a tour of your own house, but he did a tour of my house. Why my house? I swear my shack has been like one of the most active hotspots on the actual server, which comes into a great segue. I've been pranked in my shack not once, not twice, not 3 times, 6 freaking times. My
No
shack
way,
has been
6?
pranked. Yes,
Hi.
I'm just going to mention a few of them. One is cakes have been mysteriously placed all over my shack, all right? The other one was signs saying Iron Man was great. I mean, come on. Iron Man's totally not
Hold
great.
up. I gotta explain this. So for people who don't know, Doc for some reason has a grudge against Iron Man. He just absolutely hates it. He won't have anything to do with the movie that Iron Man is in. Doesn't make any sense, but there it is.
If this video actually gets up to like 25 likes, I'll post an explanation video and stuff. But anyways, it's really...
Watch out,
it's-
the Marvel fan base is pretty scary.
Oh yeah, don't worry, I got this. So okay, and I got dogs because some more context, because Scar, me and Scar go back to like an old like UHC group, and this one UHC, right, and it's Mumble, right, so that's the voice proximity in Minecraft sort of software. So I'm just chilling, right? And then all of a sudden, Scar comes over the hill in the UHC, and he has hundreds of dogs.
Cue the Pirates of the Caribbean theme.
Exactly. And all he has to do, and I'm shooting arrows at him, so I accidentally hit one of the dogs, and then the whole pack starts running after me. So I was a little bit afraid. So recently, he pranked me with just setting a bunch of dogs, and Chesh was actually part of this prank, I figured out later. Him, Rachel, and Chesh breeded a bunch
was
of
there
dogs and just scattered them all over. My whole... AJ too? Did you say
Yeah.
AJ too?
Yeah, AJ helped. Oh. She only put down like 2 or 3 dogs though.
The most recent pranks have been a giant tree, which I'm going to decorate for Christmas. I can't wait. That's going to be a lovely video. And bunnies in my basement. That's going to be coming out in a video, so you can look forward to that. But there's bunnies everywhere. When you come down into the basement, they all scatter like, I don't know, like grasshoppers in a field
Like
or
Like
something.
bunnies.
Like
They're like
bugs. They scatter like
bugs.
bugs. I guess
And-
you can call them Bugs Bunny.
Oh,
And what's up, Doc?
and the worst part is they're breeding. They're reproducing. I think someone's coming by and actually feeding them stuff. There's more bunnies every time I go down into the basement. So now we're going to move into another segment of the podcast, and this is just going to be a bunch of random thoughts that come into our minds. So, guys, what's your relationship with candy?
Probably from the time I was really young to 10 or so. I only ate candy pretty much. That was what I lived off of, sweets and candy. I never ate anything else. I remember hiding food that I didn't like because it wasn't sweets.
Oh, man.
So I have such a bad immune system, or at least did, and all this stuff just because I only ate candy. Somehow I never got cavities back then though. I'm just I only ate candy.
Did you
Stopped
have a
eating
particular
candies
favorite?
I always loved chocolate, definitely, and sour gummy worms.
Ooh.
Hmm.
What about
Sour
you,
candy
Ryan?
and chocolate.
always, my entire life, I've always loved candy. My parents like to tell this funny story of how when I was a baby, I went missing and they found a trail of cinnamon hearts, and then boom, there I was sitting behind like a couch or under a bed or something. I don't really remember, but just chowing down on a ton of cinnamon hearts. I was started work like a year or two ago, and I want to say that a good 20% of my paychecks went towards candy because I just bought so much of it and just I would eat it all the time. I'm really trying not to eat as much now.
Yeah.
I'll still have a little bit every once in a while, but
See,
I would like to stop eating it altogether. It can't be good for me.
well, I mean, when I'd like binge watch TV shows, because like before I was online, I just binge watch shows all the time. Like a new show would come out, I would just buy like those like 3-pound bags of Sour Patch Kids and eat it in like 3 sittings or so. It was terrible for me, but like that's what I'd do. I'd just sit there chowing down on Sour Patch Kids.
I would do that, but with Swedish Fish.
Yeah.
Oh.
What about you, Doc?
I never really. Okay, so my mom is a very healthy person. She like my whole life is kind of been. I've been surrounded by healthy food. I mean, thank goodness. But so I didn't really have a lot of candy. But the few bits and pieces that I did have growing up, I had. I still love gummy bears. I love gummy bears, and occasionally the gummy worms. Not the sour ones. I didn't like sour. I just like the fruity taste and stuff, especially orange. Oh, that's favorite flavor of all time.
Really?
Yeah, and then I started getting into hard candies. So then I love like Lifesavers, and then like Jolly Ranchers. Dum Dum Suckers is my greatest weakness right there.
Really?
Yeah, and it didn't help that this year. I went shopping with my mother to find candy for the kids that are going to be coming by for Halloween, and I found this big bag of Dum Dum Suckers. It's like 300 like suckers in the bag, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know.
I'm gonna give that out for Halloween. I'm just gonna eat that for myself.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of what it ended up as, because we didn't get a lot of kids, sadly. So yeah, I'm stuck with a good 240 suckers to suck on, you know.
You just walk in on Doc with like 4 lollipop sticks sticking out his mouth. It's like, what?
What?
Where you want it?
I like suckers.
So I think it's common knowledge now that I grew up in Africa, and in Kenya to be specific, and there they didn't really have a lot of candy like we have. They had candy, but most of it was either like British imports or just like local stuff that just wasn't very good. So when we would always have like churches and family members send us like care packages, and candy was always on the list. We always wanted like we always asked people to send us like American candy, gummy bears, Reese's Pieces.
Oh man.
Just I don't know, just Twizzlers, jelly beans. Just everything. We'd always ask them to send them. So whenever we did get them, we like wouldn't eat a lot. We'd try to like ration it. Like it has to last us till the next care package. Basically for a whole year. So I grew to have a new appreciation for candy. But now that I'm back in the States, I need to not have that appreciation for it. I need to like simmer down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I these days I can't eat that much candy. I get sick so easily just from eating that much crap.
That's probably a good thing, though.
Yeah, it's a good thing. But like for probably 6 months or so, I went on this diet thing with like no sugar at all.
Good.
Then I went off of it and was like eating
no.
candy. And anytime I eat it now, though, I just feel sick afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like, can't eat it, but doesn't stop me from trying.
Yeah. So your body's already made the transition and switched over to other
Yep.
fuel systems. That's not too bad. That's actually what a lot of people want now. So
Yeah, that'd be
Good
nice.
thing. It's just sad. At the same time.
I mean, there's like studies going on right now that's saying that it's like, I mean, like, you know, like Alzheimer's, right? They're tying Alzheimer's more towards unhealthy diets now, and more specifically sugar. So the less
Really?
sugar you consume, the less likely you might have in actually like getting Alzheimer's and stuff, which I think
That's
is
interesting.
well worth it. Well worth not like limiting the sugar, if not getting rid of it altogether, because there is, I mean, if you don't like plan wisely and you get Alzheimer's, there's not a lot of opportunities for healthcare to kind of help you, because you can't. It's not like oh, if I just fall and break my hip, I don't have any money to go to hospital. No, because when you get Alzheimer's, it's like you lose memory of everything, and eventually your heart stops pumping because it forgets and stuff. So there's like, and healthcare is expensive. Like if you want to go into like a home care or something like that, we're talking about several thousands of dollars. Like think about buying a new car every month, like $30,000 car. Think about that every month. Could you be able to afford that even if you've been saving all your life? Probably barely.
YouTube money.
YouTube money. I'm set. So yeah.
I just wish I could give up sodas easily. 'Cause, like that's the one thing I've had trouble with. Like, I like diet soda.
I never liked diet soda, but Pepsi is always the one that gets me. Or Fanta. Yeah, Fanta probably.
I tried actually doing that. When I worked at the movie theater, we got free drinks. And so every day I was just, when I went to work, I would just have as much soda as I wanted because, it was free. You can do whatever. And so one day I was like, I'm going to try to eat healthier. I'm going to try to drink healthier. So I canceled soda out of that. But then I just replaced it with like lemonade and iced tea. So it didn't really do much.
Well, the iced tea
but I did get rid of soda.
Yeah.
The lemonade,
for a little bit at least.
The lemonade, it depends. But I mean, at least the unsweetened tea, unless you're that typical East Coaster that, sweet tea.
I think that's a Southern thing.
Is it a Southern
thing?
we
I
have
think
it at
sweet
my
tea is
work.
definitely a Southern thing.
I don't know.
I make huge vats of it at work.
Since you eat so much sugar, I mean, do you guys ever have any dental problems?
Not really. My teeth, I've been fine.
I never had. I don't have a single cavity that I know of. But I did have a lot of mouth problems. Like I just whenever it comes to teeth and mouth subjects, I just have horrible luck. When I was I think it was 12 and stuff, I had a set of teeth that did not come down properly, and they didn't bump the roots of the baby teeth, so they were just growing next to the baby teeth. So then I had to get those pulled. And then one tooth didn't come down at all. It somehow managed to get angled in a horizontal direction. So it was just kind of roaming around my mouth. And that wasn't fun.
That's
so
lovely.
So what they had to do, it's a procedure similar to getting your wisdom teeth removed, but not at the same time. But basically what they did is they cut through my mouth a little bit, found the tooth, strapped a little harness around the tooth, and then attached a golden chain to it, and then attached that to my braces so it would pull my tooth down eventually to the socket it was supposed to go. That was fun, having a chain in your mouth pulling down. Oh man, that felt great. And then I had the braces.
My friend
things.
had that.
Oh, did he or she?
Yeah, it was a him.
Okay.
I don't know, he would always talk about it. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
It hurt. And then when I had my wisdom teeth removed, that's fun, kids. Here's fun fact. If you have wisdom teeth and you go through the procedure, even if the wisdom teeth don't hurt after the procedure, do not work or do anything extensive. All right? Because what happened with me is my gums got so swollen that I didn't bleed at all. And that's rare.
Oh, no.
So what happened was when the swelling finally went down on the gums, then just so much blood just came gushing out of my mouth. It looked like I got shot or something like that. I don't know. It was just starting to drip through my mouth.
Yuck.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. And then I want to say a week after the procedure, I started going back to using straws. That was a bad idea because then I got dry sockets. And the only way to fix dry sockets, that's basically when the inside of your sockets are dehydrated and stuff, and it's pretty painful. So the only way to combat that is they take this cloth, right, and it's like soaked in clove oil or something, some weird concoction, but it tasted like clove. Not a very pleasant taste. But what they do is they go up to your incision points where they pulled the teeth from, and they stuff the cloth all the way down to your jawline.
Ah.
That was painful. I'd rather break my ankle again than go through that. So don't use a straw and don't work. when you get your wisdom
Noted.
teeth removed?
I have not had my wisdom teeth removed.
No?
I was
No.
always early with that kind of thing. Like, I think I lost all my baby teeth by the time I was like 4 or 5.
Oh, man.
And
wow.
like, I got my wisdom teeth out when I was 14.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah. I had a thing where I was like, when I would be nervous, I didn't know my wisdom teeth had grown in, kind of, but I had bumps back there. And when I was nervous, I'd grind my gums together.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got them removed, and I was like, there's nothing to grind when I'm nervous. What am I doing? But that was hard to deal with. But that was also about the time I got my job for the first time. Because I got my job on my 14th birthday. So I got my wisdom teeth removed, and then the next week I was working. Which, to be honest, like, the pain medications didn't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't really all that loopy or anything like that, but it also didn't help with any pain. But I didn't really have any issues that much, and go back to work, and they had, like, steak at work for the first meal. And I was just sitting there staring at it, like, really? This is all the food you have? And I'm, like sitting
why?
there, and people are watching. All of my coworkers are just watching me as I'm, like, chewing steak with my front teeth. They're
Yeah.
just like, this just looks sad. But
That's not
I-
easy.
I got all my work done and stuff, like, a week later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Me and my sister got braces at the same time, and she the minute so the orthodontist, he sat us down, he told us all the stuff we can't eat, blah blah blah. We go home, and the first thing that my sister does is make popcorn and just starts chowing down on it. And we're like, you can't eat that, right? She's like, yeah, whatever. We never had anything break though, like any of our brackets break, so that was pretty good. My braces were a big scam though. So I got my braces 2015, and I want to say by 2016 they were ready to come out because my teeth had straightened, and it was just a really fast process. And then so he removes them, but he also put these wires on the back of my teeth. Now, is this a normal thing? I don't know if
Yeah.
this is a normal thing.
I have mine
He put
in
the
right
wires. You have wires too?
Yeah, behind
Okay,
my bottom teeth,
I was not
my
told
top.
about this. Oh, okay. I got them both, and I was not
Oh.
told about this. He's like,
That's
"All right, where are your retainers? When whatever." I stopped wearing my retainers because I completely forgot about them, and then, but yeah, I have these wires, and they break every once in a while. So I was staying in New Hampshire in 2016, and I had my braces break. So I went to the local orthodontist, and I'm like, can you just remove them all together? And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. So they removed them, and I was like, yes, I have smooth teeth. This is amazing. And then I go back to Africa to visit my family, and they're like, you should probably check up on the orthodontist. And he's like, you removed my wires. And I'm like, what? Yeah, of course I did. And he's like, put those back in. So now I still have wires. That was 2 years ago, and I have wires in my teeth again. And I'm so sad. And then I'm never ever going to get them removed because I'm not allowed.
Yeah, no, what those wires are is they're permanent, like, retainers, essentially.
I didn't
But-
ask. That's what braces are for. I didn't ask for permanent retainers.
Well, the teeth move after a while. Like over years. That's what the retainers are for. If you don't keep them in on a daily basis, like in a perfect world, they want you to leave in even the removable retainers in, like for the rest of your life, so they don't move. And I've noticed that myself because I stopped wearing mine and stuff, but I still have the permanent retainer. But what is odd is that they put it on your bottom and your uppers, because what they told me was they'll put one on the bottom, but they won't put one on the top unless it's really dire. Because if you put it on the top, most of the time when you chew, there's a lot of pressure on the upper part of the mouth and stuff, and that retainer would just fall off and break.
That's what happens. Yeah.
So,
My retainers move more than my teeth do. So like, I don't know what the deal is here.
I don't know, man. I do relate to your sister. I ate popcorn even though I wasn't supposed to. I just made sure I was like really careful when I chewed, so I wouldn't
did
get
too. I did
like
too.
kernels like underneath the brackets. But what did break one of my brackets wasn't popcorn or like Tootsie Rolls or something. No, it was a single very thin tortilla chip that angled itself just right and popped the bracket. And I was like, ow, that hurts.
There you go.
So, yeah.
I'm just over here with my mostly perfect teeth. I say
I'm so
mostly because I
jealous.
just got one tooth that they're just... I was like, I don't ever need braces. I'm so happy. Next day I go to the dentist. They're just like, you got this one funky tooth. You want braces for it? I'm just like, no. Don't you say that to me. I got one
nobody
funky
got time
tooth,
for
and
that.
it's fine. It just kind of looks like I had a vampire thing that went wonky. It's fine.
Speaking of losing all your teeth, what are your biggest fears?
I've lost mine already. All my teeth are gone. Oh, fuck my God. My greatest fear is needles. I hate being injected or extracting
yeah, those
anything
are
from my
bad.
body. I hate it. And funny enough, again, back to when I was getting my wisdom teeth, I've had a lot of anxiety. I don't want to say I have a problem or anything, but when I'm in the moment, I'm pretty jazzed, if you know what I mean. So they're going for the IV, and that's, if for those who are really young and don't know what that is, they're basically pumping you with medicine directly into your bloodstream. So you kind of pass out and you don't have to witness them yanking your whole mouth out. So they stuck the IV in, and just having the needle go in, because I'm one of those weird people who don't want to not look, because I want to know when to expect the little pinch. But at the same time, I don't want to see something being stuck into my body. So I watch, and I'm already squeamish, and my anxiety is like through the roof at this point. And once it's in, they start the medication, and I feel the pressure in my vein, and that already grossed me out a bunch. So that, I mean, it's expected, but feeling like stuff being pumped into your bloodstream, and then being smart enough to know what's actually going on, that's kind of freaky for me. So anyways, he says, okay, count down from 30. I bet you by the time you reach 10 seconds, you'll be out completely. So I start counting, and we get to 15. I don't feel any different. And then we get to 10 seconds. I'm feeling even more in panic because I don't feel any different. And then I finally get down to 3 seconds until I finally started getting loopy, and the room started like spinning around in circles and stuff. And then I just closed my eyes, and I never woke up for a couple hours and stuff. But needles,
Never woke up.
I never woke up. I'm dead. This is Brian, by the way. Hi there. I'm impersonating Doc. Doc died back in 2017, so I'm sorry.
What's your name?
Brian.
Excuse me. There's only enough room for one Ryan, and yours comes with a B. So how about you be a nice guy and get out of here?
What if I say my first name is Hero?
Carry on.
See, I get the needle thing because actually I've had a problem with passing out in the past. Like, I'd get flu shots and I'd be like, I'm fine, stand up, pass out. Or when I like get injured, like I'd like closed my finger in a car door once. I've still got a scar on my finger, and I wasn't sure if I broke it, so I just passed out in the parking lot. Started like, it looks like I'm having a seizure at the time. So I'm like shaking, and I had 2 classmates walk by as I'm doing this. And I like woke up, and they're like staring at me, and I'm throwing up, just like, this is fine, it's fine, it happens all the time. But the
I'm
needles
so
don't
sorry.
actually scare me that much. Like, I haven't done it in a year or 2.
I'm okay with needles. They don't bother me, right? Obviously, it makes me uncomfortable, but it's not really an issue. My sister, however, she's the one who, when we go to the doctor's office, she'll like go hide behind the bed because she's so afraid of needles. And I like to poke fun of her with that. I'm like, don't worry. It's only gonna hurt like a lot, and then it'll be.
Such a bad brother.
So, yeah, I like to just make it a bigger issue than it is.
I'm not afraid of needles. I'm just not good with them. I don't really know what exactly I would count as being afraid of for a fear, because like, if I think about things, like small things are scary or whatever, but if I think of like, what's your biggest fear? I'm like, let's see. Driving on the interstate scares me a little bit, but like I did that today. It was fine. Not a big deal. What else scares me? People, but not all people. Large crowds, they can be scary, but it's not like that's a huge fear. Being alone, yes, that scares me, but I also like my own time.
Anything that really like jazzes you.
See, that's my thing. I'm like, let's see if I were to like fly somewhere by myself, but then I'm fine with that at the same time. So.
Oh, it's fun, Chesh. I can't wait for you to have that experience.
I mean, I pretty much did that already. I went on a school trip that I was the only one in my family to go on, and I didn't know any of the other people in my class that well. So mostly it was just me.
I think I think my second fear is actually flying itself. I don't do well for heights. This is kind of funny coming from the ex-gymnast, but I really hate flying. So what did I do in 2016? I actually flew on a plane. So I was going to go meet with an internet friend, and they lived in Seattle at the time. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So I saved up for months, and I got my ticket, and headed to the airport. Now, here's where things get funny, all right? So I'm young, right? I don't have a debit card or a credit card at the time. So I'm like, okay, how can I actually pay for this ticket online? So I go to like Fry's, and if you don't know it, that's like a food supermarket. I don't know if they have them over on the East Coast or not. But I go to Fry's, I buy myself like a prepaid Visa card, right? So I pay with that, right? Meanwhile, someone's checking me because prepaid like Visa cards, they're not usually used for purchasing plane tickets. So I think I triggered some sort of a red light, because when I got to the airport, right? And this is coming back. This is in Seattle, so SeaTac. This is not even where I was leaving from to go. But when I was coming back, I'm at security, right? Like TSA. So I unload everything, right? I am pretty much getting rid of all my gadgets that are metallic. So the watch, the belt, like the phone, tablet, everything in my backpack, all going into the scanner and stuff. So I'm standing there, right? And there's this security guy going around, like shouting out the commands and stuff, like make sure your pockets are empty, blah, 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 blah. And then approach the sniffer so you can be processed and stuff. And the sniffer is the actual human scanner and stuff. So I was like, okay, I got this. So I'm standing there, and I kind of do feel naked. I'm not actually naked, but I feel like it because I don't have my gadgets with me, and I'm just standing in my bare feet essentially because I was wearing sandals, and I didn't know if there was anything metallic in the sandals. Didn't want to find out, so I put them in the tray anyway. So I'm standing there barefoot. So the guy comes around, and mind you, this guy is like 6'5". He's a tall boy. All right. He comes around and he shouts the thing again. Is like, make sure your pockets are empty. But this time he's shouting a little louder. I'm like, okay. And then I just keep following the line. I'm like 3 people away from my turn, actually, from being scanned and stuff. So then he gets right in my face, this same tall security guard, and he shouts at me to empty my pockets. And I turn to him and I say, it's like, my pockets are empty. And then the person in front of me gets finished being scanned, and then I get up to the scanner, and then the security guy actually jumps over the line to stand right in front of me at the sniffer, and he outright shouts at me this time, like only a couple feet away from my face, and he says, empty your pockets now. And I'm like, and I think at this is like really early in the morning, right? This is like 7 a.m. So I'm not a morning person, so I'm already kind of annoyed that I had to wake up this early. So I did something really stupid. I thrusted both of my hands into my pockets really quickly and pulled my pockets inside out. Don't do that, kids, all right? Okay? I'm lucky I didn't get shot on the spot because of me like thrusting my hands into my pocket that quickly for security reasons. But anyways, I wasn't thinking, and I pulled them out, and I just stand there. And we just lock eyes. It's like a Clint Eastwood Western or something. Like, it's like, who's going to draw first? And exactly. And then all of a sudden, this short security guard, I bet you she was shorter than 5 feet. She was probably like 4'8" or something. She comes up to me, and she just looks at me, and she's like, how are you doing today, sir? And meanwhile, inside my mind, I was like, what do you think? I just got shouted at. I'm embarrassed, and I'm barefoot, and I'm standing inside a sniffer, and everybody's like really upset that I'm holding up the line. I didn't say that. I just said I'm doing fine. I probably said it in Dead's voice, actually. Probably now that I think about it.
You stay to the security guard. Yo, can I get a clip?
Yo, can I get a clip? So I'm standing there barefoot, and she's looking me up and down, and she looks around me a little bit. So she was probably trying to see it, like if I had anything in the back pockets, which I didn't. And then it's like, it felt like 30 seconds had gone by at this point. And she just looks at me and she says, have a nice day. I was like, okay, cool. And I don't even look back at the tall guy. I think she was going to like shame him like later on. I don't know, because she seemed to be the boss and she cleared me. So I just grabbed my stuff and went. So that was my security experience. And I can't say I really enjoyed it. Can't say I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. That actually reminds me. I guess I do know what I'm kind of afraid of, I guess.
Okay.
Like, the 2 things I can think of is fear of losing control. Like, I have to be in control of things. Like, that's why... Like, I got into photography a while back, quite a bit. But, like, I wouldn't ever have people do things for me. Like, I wouldn't take pictures of people just because I couldn't pose them exactly the way that I wanted to. The same reason why I work harder recording by myself if I am ever going to do something, because I'm like, things have to be perfect the way that I want them to be, but I can't control how other people are acting. So that's always been a thing that has bothered me some things, but also fear of conflict, I guess. Like, I'm not scared to get in a fight myself, but, like, if I see two people, like, yelling at each other or whatever, I'll just, like, go hide in a corner. Or if I feel like somebody's angry, I'm just like, I'm just gonna go over here. Later, guys. Just hiding in a corner, like, under blankets, like, don't talk to me.
That's pretty deep. My fear is the Kool-Aid Man, but that seems kind of fun. Yo, I was waiting the whole time to say that. I'm like, guys, somebody say something pretty deep so I can say mine's the Kool-Aid Man.
Nice.
Oh, is it really? Are you
No.
really?
I found that on Google.
Oh, okay.
It's a text meme. The guy's like, "What's your biggest fear?" And the person says, "Being forgotten." Dang, that's deep. Mine's the Kool-Aid Man, but I feel kind of stupid about it now.
Oh my gosh.
Did you guys ever hear about invisible Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
Yeah, the super
Just
clear
the clear.
Kool-Aid. Yeah.
Yeah.
They removed it not too long after they published it, so I was wondering if some kids were like getting in trouble. And it's like, what are you drinking, Jimmy? I'm drinking water.
I have a
Oh, yeah.
social experiment. Okay. Do you put sugar in your Kool-Aid?
Yes. Like what do you mean by adding
Like
sugar
when
to
like you're
Kool-Aid?
making a big jug of Kool-Aid, right?
Okay.
You put in the Kool-Aid mix, and then you put in the sugar, and then you put in the water, and you mix it all up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going through this crisis. Like, is it normal to put sugar in Kool-Aid? Because my whole life I've thought that you did, right? And then we in Kenya we met some friends, and actually this is a friend of mine's story. He had our friends over for dinner, and they really like to make Kool-Aid, so they made Kool-Aid, but the friends had never had sugar in their Kool-Aid before. So they were like, "What? You put sugar in your Kool-Aid?" And they had it, and they're like, "This is the best thing I've ever had in my life." And they like started bouncing off the walls and stuff. But and then I know, right? So I went to New Hampshire, and I told my family that story, and my family in New Hampshire is like, "What? You put sugar in your Kool-Aid?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Like, is this not a normal thing?"
No, it's pretty normal. To put
Comment
sugar
down
in.
below. Do you put sugar in your Kool-Aid?
Yeah. See,
This
all
is
the
a social
Kool-Aid
experiment.
I have is at work, and the packets we have at work have the sugar in the packets already. They're like huge packets because they've got several cups of sugar or whatever.
Right.
So I just pour those in a big bin, so they already have sugar in them.
They already have sugar in them, but you can add
Yeah.
more sugar to it, and it tastes way better.
Well,
I don't think you understand how much sugar is in these packets.
I don't think you understand how much better it tastes.
No, they've got like 4 cups of sugar in this giant thing.
I don't put that
I think if you had more sugar, it'd be straight sugar, man.
Well, I'm so old. I remember the Kool-Aid packets. They did not come with sugar. So yeah, and actually I remember this with Gatorade too, where they came in these little bins, and you had to like read the instructions to scoop in certain amounts of powder, and then you have to add the sugar and stuff.
You ever heard of Tang?
Oh, I remember Tang.
My mom's allergic to that.
That's like all they. When we first moved to Kenya, that's all they had juice wise. Like that was it. So that was good times. So we're gonna do this new segment, and we're gonna try it out, and it's gonna be kind of weird. But basically, I have an improv scenario random generator thing here, and I also have character generators. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna generate a random scenario. Like visiting the dentist or boarding a bus or first day on the new job, something like that. And then I'm also going to generate some characters. We're going to try to improv something.
This is gonna be fun.
All right, we're doing 2 construction workers find buried treasure. Okay, Chesh, you're going to be you're going to be the sane builder, right? Construction worker. You're going to be the sane construction worker who you don't find it first, right? Doc is going to find it first. He's the not sane construction worker. He's very arrogant and rude and he's
Greedy.
That's the word I'm looking for. He's a greedy construction
He's like
worker.
the greedy one. I'm the one who's like, we should donate this.
And I'm gonna be the
Like, they're
genie.
Turned over to the cops. That kind of
Okay.
thing.
Oh god. I guess I'll start then.
Oh, this is a stupid job. Gosh, it's 7 to 8. Oh my gosh, my back is hurting. You don't pay me enough. Oh my goodness. To dig these holes. Why do we need a hole here? I don't know. My back's really hurting. And, wait a minute. It's something hard. It's probably a coffin. Probably some guy from the 80s killed a man, buried him here. Oh, it's not. Oh, what's this? It's like a little box, shiny box. Huh. I need a key, though. I don't have one. Hey, Billy! Billy!
Yeah, what up, Terry?
Oh, Billy, you bring me a nail, will you?
Nail?
Nail!
I was looking for the hammer.
Did I say screws? I said a nail!
I need a hammer. I need a hammer. Wait, what do you need again?
I need nails! Gosh dang it! Can you bring me the nails?
Are like on the end of your fingers.
No, my goodness, it's in the bucket. It's in the bucket. Can you give me the bucket full of nails?
Why do we got a bucket full of nails? I had a box full of nails.
Oh, can you bring the box full of nails over, please?
Yeah, sure, whatever, man.
Oh gosh, it's a little bit stupid.
You got a hammer?
I don't have a hammer. Go ask the office for a hammer. Who do I look
Nail
like?
the box shut.
Who do I look like, Bob the Builder here? Do you have the nails?
You got a screwdriver?
No, I got a wrench. Will that work?
But the box is screwed shut.
What?
You imbeciles are taking too long to open the box that contains the genie named Alfred.
Oh.
Who dareth disturb my slumber?
Jimmy disrupted your slumber. Jimmy disrupted your slumber. Here you go, Jimmy. Here, take the box.
Jimmy, you are the one who woke me up? Thank you very much. I've been trapped into there for 75 years. I will now grant you 3 wishes.
Oh, wait, no, wait. Why, Jimmy? I undogged you. It's not even a word.
If you woke up, it was probably my drilling. It's kind of loud over there. I mean, how does anybody sleep with that? Anyway, 3 wishes? Like
3 wishes. They could be anything you want. My voice also changed on occasion.
a ham sandwich?
Ham sandwich? Is that your final answer?
I mean, what wouldn't be a final answer?
We could get you one.
Boom! Here's the ham sandwich.
Oh, nice. Ham
Did you actually just waste one of your wishes on a ham sandwich? Subway is just a couple
What? I was
streets
hungry.
down. There's Subways. You could have gone to Subways.
I didn't bring my lunch with me.
There's a Subways, Jimmy.
Yeah, but I left my wallet at home.
Oh gosh.
Need I remind you that you have 2 more wishes?
Oh.
You should wish for more wishes. That's what everybody does.
Ah, but that's greedy, man. Like,
No.
why not just ask for world peace or something like that?
No, you
that's
gotta
too
milk
much.
the system. You could become a millionaire in 2 seconds.
Millionaire, billionaire. Who wants that? I just like me and my drills and my hammers. I do need a screwdriver for this box.
No,
Which is
no,
perfect. We
don't-
need a screwdriver for the
Waste
box,
it.
remember?
Don't waste it on the screwdriver. Where you would just
Remember?
walk.
Because, you needed
20
the
feet away.
nails. And, the box is screwed shut. So, we could use a screwdriver.
Yeah, you could have just walked 20 feet away and got a screwdriver. You don't need to wish for a screwdriver.
So a screwdriver it is?
Yeah, probably screwdriver, man.
No.
Wish 2 completed! Here's your screwdriver. It comes in red, green, and yellow, whichever way you face it.
Oh, green, yes.
I don't believe you, Jimmy. You just wasted 2 wishes on something you could have just,
You
gotten
have
in
1
the
more
middle.
wish.
Nails you were wanting.
Spend it wisely.
Wish for more
Yeah, I
wishes.
can just,
Milk the system.
more wishes? Who would want that?
Wish for money. I love money. That way we won't have to be here.
Because you wanted lunch at Subway. I see now. Could we have some lunch money, please?
Lunch money? What is a sub cost? $5 foot long? $5 granted to you.
Yeah, thanks.
That is
Here
it
you
for
go,
me.
Jimmy.
I am now free to
you,
roam
Jimmy.
the Aether Realm. Peace out,
Yeah,
fellas.
man,
And
have
never
fun,
have a
dude.
friend like me.
Nice meeting you. Yeah.
I can't believe you, Jimmy. we could have had anything we
That's so
wanted.
great, man.
Well, that was a very interesting segment. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to the podcast. Episode 3 will be in 5 months. Sit tight.